Sorry guys, I'm not taking that chance today. Not today, trolls. Not today. So Dogboy Malone, I believe John 3:16. Also, I believe the earth is flat. Kind regards, Dogboy Malone, England. Thank you for sharing that. I believe John 3:16 as well. We have that in common, but I do not believe that the earth is flat.
Hello, I'm Dogboy Malone, and I'm here today to explain to you why you would not be able to see Mount Everest on a flat plane. And I have 2 points of interest, which I think you're going to quite like. But first of all, let's talk a little bit about the Himalayas. So anyway, the Himalayan range is 1,500 miles long, from northwest to east-west, so that's quite long. Now on the west, it's up to 250 miles wide. And on the eastern side, its width is up to about 93 miles. Now Everest is 29,029 feet, or 5.497892 miles above sea level, which is very high. Now I'm here to help you understand why you can't see it, and there is 2 reasons, and I'm going to explain to you both the reasons one at a time. So, you know, that's the plan anyway. Whoa, 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 whoa. If you want to go, you're welcome to go. You don't have to stick around. But if you can be a little bit quiet for a moment, then I might be able to help you. If we go this way, come on, I want to show... Come on. I want to show you my first point about why you can't see Everest on a flat plane. Anyway, now this shot is particularly useful for the next part, but let's start with the basics first.
Somebody said young earth equals flat earth. The Bible tells us exactly what the earth is made like. No, the earth is not flat. Don't fall for that one, guys.
So I'm here amidst the waters to explain to you the difference between basically air and water, which has a much thicker viscosity. Now we've come down from the top of Everest, and we've come down to basically sea level, which obviously, as you can see, we have a nice bit of water here, and you know, we obviously have the contrast of the air above it and of course the water beneath it along the horizontal point. Interesting to see that this is oxygen is, you know, O2, and obviously water is H2O. So have a little think about that, because they're quite similar, and you can look on the periodic table to work out how close they really are. But anyway, so basically what I'm going to do now is the experiment, or part 1 of why you can't see Everest. So for this part of the experiment, I'm going to see how far I can see through the water molecule, which obviously is 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen. I am quite curious in the correlation between how far I can see through the actual water molecule in comparison obviously through the oxygen, which is 2 atoms of oxygen, you know, which produce an oxygen molecule. So that's why it's called O2. Of course, oxygen is only 21% of what's in our air. We need more, basically. And if we had more, we could obviously probably do a lot better. We could run for hundreds of miles and not get out of breath, basically. Incidentally, for this shot, I was thinking about Everest so much that I suffered slight pulmonary edema. So my brain was trying to sort of burst through my hair there. But basically, I couldn't see very far under the water. It was just too moist, really, for me to get a great deal of distance. So, you know, there was a few fish down there, but I couldn't really see very far. It's almost like looking down, you know, at Everest on a murky day.
Dog Boy Malone, thank you for the 10-pound super chat. And how do you think Jesus was able to see all the kingdoms of earth from a high mountain if we are spinning on a ball in the middle of nowhere? Kind regards, Dog Boy Malone. Well, if the earth was flat, how would he be able to see them even if they were flat? Can he see, like, to the end of the plane of land? His eyesight was not that good, my friend. Nobody could see that well. What I think may have happened is maybe the devil presented them to him as kind of a panorama in front of him.
Well, okay guys, it's going pretty well at the moment. So lesson number one is you can't basically see Everest, even if you could see as far as possible and your eyesight was that good, on a plane, quite simply because of the moisture in the air, i.e. water. So, you know, fog, mist, stuff like that. That's why you wouldn't be able to see Everest, because you wouldn't be able to see through all the water vapour. I mean, it's really quite straightforward, isn't it, when you think about it? But anyway, on to the next. Ah, there we go, a lovely Spitfire. You don't see one of them every day. Unless, of course, you live near Eastleigh, where they were made. So here comes another one. I didn't actually get the first two because I was rummaging around in the bushes to the left of this shot. But let's get to point number two, why you can't actually see Everest. And this point has to do with perspective, like looking down a long corridor, for example, where the ceiling sort of goes down and the floor goes up until it gets to like a vanishing point or a horizon point. Now here we have another plane. Blackbird is a little bit, does frequent the area, so you know that's another flying thing that we have to look out for around Eastleigh. So now look at this plane. As you can see, it's sort of climbing, the nose is climbing, it's going up, then all of a sudden when it's above us, oh no, the nose is coming down. Is it going to crash? Oh my word, how frightening. Actually no, it's still climbing, and that's down to the law of perspective, where things converge on a vanishing point. Yeah, think about that one.
Hello friends. Oh, so beautiful. Gosh. Thank you for having me.
So basically I'd done my time in the river, that was point number one. You know, I couldn't see very far. And now we're going to go for point number two about perspective and the way things appear to get smaller, basically, due to the, you know, your field of range and the vanishing point or the horizon. Look at this plane going up. Wow! 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 That was lovely. Anyway, let's have a little look at these things here. Very interesting stuff. Hang on, just bear with me for a moment. Bear with me for a moment there, please. Beautiful. So here we are. It's just, wow. It looks like to me that one's going over the curvature. Going over the curvature there. So very exciting. And I do obviously apologise for part two. I'd had a few beers that day, about 16. But the point is, I'm here to show you part two, why things sort of converge to a vanishing point. And that's another reason why you couldn't see Everest, because everything converges to a vanishing point, even over short distances. Now, this pylon is 50 metres high, and the average distance between pylons is 365 metres. What a funny number. That beauty. Wow! Here we go. Look at it. It's pretty big. Like these horseflies.
Alright, so Dog Boy Malone, thank you for the 12-pound super chat. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. Is that the way the day sky is blue? I don't know, my friend. I have to admit, I don't know all that much understanding. I don't have all that much understanding about what the firmament is and was. I haven't really done that much research into that. I know flat earthers like to quote that in order to try to prove that the earth is flat. but the Earth is not flat. Rest assured.
Wow. So basically, perspective is, you know, something that makes stuff smaller the further it gets away. I don't think it's necessarily a curve, more an undulating plane. But, you know, that's just my view. I've been out today having a good time. You know, I've been in bed for like 3 or 4 days. So, you know, it's always nice to get out after that. But look at that monster. And believe it or not, I can just about... only just... But believe it or not, this one's the same size over here. Yeah, curvature.
My ass. Oh, it comes plain. Wonder why they call it that.
Maybe they should call it a globe?
So in conclusion to point number 2, this plane is going up constantly at the moment in this shot, but it will look like it's coming down. And that's because it's converging to a vanishing point as it goes further away from me. And it's not going over the curvature, it's converging to a vanishing point. I mean, you don't get curved hallways, and they do that. So that's what's going down here. You know, and as for this big beast here, the one opposite is the same size, and yet, as you can see, it's converging to a vanishing point. I rest my case. It was worth all the ticks.
Until the next time, be good, take care, God bless, and goodbye. Come on. Come on, I'm not going to throw this in the bin. Well, I am going to throw this in the bin. It's been a hard day at the office.
So, thank you very much for your time. I'd like to thank all my Patreons, but I haven't got any, because I haven't got a Patreon account, nor do I want one. You know, I just do this for love, because every time I make a video, I lose subscribers. How does that work, eh? I shouldn't have made that video about Richard Branson, should I? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it slightly, but there is information in there if you can sort of sift through the crappy bits, which is quite a bit of it. But you know, as I say, that's the way I see it, and that's why you can't see Mount Everest, particularly from east, but you can see a Spitfire from time to time.
Good fun, isn't it?